In a world where the marks think they know better than the wrestlers and the bookers, the Fantasy Booking Institute exists to pretty much do exactly that. This is a visit from the FBI. Yeah, I don't know what went on there. So, welcome to another episode of the Fantasy Booking Institute, your weekly dose of pro wrestling fantasy booking. I'm joined as always by my partners in crime fighting. Starting off, District Attorney Vincent Cafe. What's going on, man? How are you?
I wondered if we had lag or what had happened there. That was fun.
Yeah, well, that's weird. I don't know.
Weird.
Weird. Also joining us from up north, RCMP JLB. What's going on, man?
It goes good. That was very weird. I was like, does he realize he's live? What's going on? He did the intro and then he stopped. Very weird.
What happened for me is the intro froze on my screen, so I could still see you guys
Backstage.
in the backstage going, what's going on?
Yeah,
for
just
me,
chilling in the
it
back.
was still looking like the intro was playing, and so I was like, and then all of a sudden I'm on screen. I'm like, oh, geez, okay.
Oh, geez, hi. How's it going?
Hey, what's going on, man?
Well, look at that pretty face. Oh my God.
Look at you.
Must be on live.
Oh, all of the beautiful people are here, huh?
Yeah. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. No, I'm going to switch to this view.
That way we can see the beautifulest face biggest or something.
Yes. So if you are new to this particular show, welcome to start off with. This show is our fantasy booking thing. The rules are pretty simple. We're going to take turns challenging the others to book some unknown and usually unlikely scenario in the world of professional wrestling. The big twist is we don't discuss these in advance, so our answers are made up on the spot, and because we think that's funnier. Or
Yeah.
it's more challenging.
It's really not.
Or
not.
something. We think it is, and it doesn't matter if it is or not. That's the way we do it. So.
I'm just so bad at this.
Yeah.
I think I got a good one today, though.
Okay. That'd be a first.
Yeah. Got a point.
Burn. Ooh, burn. Would you
I don't
like
like the kid.
some ointment for that burn?
Like some ice for that 3rd-degree burn?
But, if you are joining us for our live stream, again, welcome. If you're
Thanks.
not, you're listening to us on either a replay of the live stream on YouTube or Facebook, or just listening to us on our regular podcast thing, welcome as well. Thanks for joining us, and hopefully you continue to enjoy. If you could, however, and you're not already subscribed, make sure to smash that subscribe button on YouTube or Facebook or
Over
whatever.
On
Yep.
the bottom.
Yep, wherever it is there, just click that like or subscribe so that we know you're here and know that you get notified as soon as we post things. Especially if you
Yeah.
click that little bell on YouTube, you get notified. We stream
bong.
live pretty much every Sunday night and Tuesday night at 10:30 Central. I'd say pretty much because we had to reschedule this last Sunday night because it was 4th of July and the
freedom.
world was exploding. Yes.
Well, at least the 5th largest country was exploding.
Yes. It was exploding all around us, and
By territory.
wouldn't have made for a very good podcast to just constantly. I live in.
I think that would be an epic podcast.
I live in a fairly densely populated area, and it felt like a war zone here. So,
Boom.
but anyways, before we get into the fantasy booking, I always like to remind people that we are part of the Tatnus Co. podcast network. So tatnusco.com is where you go. You can see all the shows on the network there. And then you can listen to them. There's some great shows there, so check them all out. Come back here to listen to the next episodes as we post them. So, but we'll go ahead and get into the fantasy booking. As always, I leave the floor open to my co-hosts to see who wants to go first.
I want him to prove it.
Okay, I'll go
I
first.
have a really good one. I want him to prove it.
JLB called to the mat.
That's fine, and it's gonna go with today's date. So today's date is 25 years since that major heel turn happened on WCW, where Hogan introduced us to the NWO. So 25 years later, for life, I would like you to essentially book me
for life.
the new.
You get your thumb right.
I did it too low the first time, and then I'm trying to look at the camera as I'm doing it, and that got me all messed up. I had to hold it up here. I did it down here. And
movie.
I did it down here, and I was like, for life. And I realized you could barely see the top of my thumb, and I'm like, oh shit. So now I got to do it up
One
here.
job.
And now I'm looking at it, and I'm all confused by, like when you look in the mirror and everything's going wrong, because I'm pointing this way, but the camera's
That happens to
pointing
me
that
every
way.
day.
And I'm like, Anyway, for
Well,
life.
since you said shit and put us in the PG-13, yeah, that happens every time I masturbate.
Oh Jesus!
Only
there.
when I use my left
We're
hand.
rated R now.
Rated RK, bro.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, so I essentially would like
Wherever
you to
you are,
book.
This is for you, Randy. This whole episode.
It's for you, Randy, wherever you are, bud. I would essentially like you to book you could be from WWE to AEW or AEW to WWE, or if you want to put Impact to WWE or wherever, would like you to book that ultimate heel turn, a big surprise, like a Hogan, if you will. Or I guess Hogan was already in the company, and so was the Outsiders. So essentially, yeah, book me the 2021 version of the NWO in whichever company that you would like to choose.
So, like the two that come over and one that's there.
Yeah,
The first five. I
you
mean,
can
I
do
can
that.
I can get to the point where I eventually have a whole roster on the NWO.
No.
I think
the-
it's more
the
talking about
original
just like,
three. Just the original.
well,
three, I guess.
and the modern day version of it. So.
Yeah.
And I don't necessarily do you need it to be anyone defecting rosters, or can it be?
I guess not. I guess the
Okay.
roster that's already there, because technically everyone in WCW was already there. The Outsiders were there for like maybe 3 weeks already, so not
Oh, it was
necessarily
longer
they
than
have to
that.
defect.
Yeah, they were there.
Was it longer
It
than
was
that?
April to July, bud.
Oh snap!
It was-
Okay.
Yeah, because
What?
actually,
Build a long storyline? What?
because there were actually a couple pay-per-views where there were programs with the Outsiders involved. Scott Hall showed up first, and then Kevin Nash came. I want to say it was like 3 weeks later.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
And then there was quite a bit where they would interfere. They weren't in any matches.
Right.
Their first sanctioned match was the Bash.
Okay. Right. Okay. Fair enough. I guess I just condensed those 5
It's okay.
months into
It's all right, buddy.
into 3 weeks.
It's all right, man. We're good. It's all right.
So, guys, I'm curious the modern day 2021 NWO and go.
Well, you're wearing the hat, so hop to
Okay.
it.
Hop to
Oh,
it
yeah.
here. Well,
Yeah.
but
You
before
cannot make the Wolfpack NWO though. Let's
Yeah,
just
but-
do one NW.
But before we get into it, I think it's only apropos for us to introduce our special guest on this episode.
Oh my gosh, it's fantastic.
Oh,
Yes, we got the Big Daddy Cam over here. Yeah, big sexy. His mic's not
giant
working. He's just gonna stand there and look, but he's
look
gonna
fierce.
assist us here off and on today. But so we're gonna go ahead and let him relax for a bit here. It's tough because, to be perfectly honest, there's almost no one in professional wrestling right now that's at the level of faceness that Hulk Hogan was at the time, right? Hulk Hogan was the ultimate face and had been the ultimate face for so long. Even though, I've talked about it before, he wrestled as a heel. He used heel tactics all over the time in his wrestling, but the crowd loved him. He was the ultimate babyface there. And there's no one right now that really hits that. You know, like the closest in AEW is kind of Hangman Page, but not really. You know, Orange Cassidy's up there.
Right.
You know, if Orange Cassidy were to turn heel on the Best Friends, it would be, but he's not Hulk Hogan level of over
Right.
and face. And there's really no one in WWE either that quite lives up to that, in my opinion, right now. However, part of that heel turn was not just turning heel on the fans, but also turning against a group of friends that had already been established. That group, in the case of the NWO's turn, or Hogan's turn, was Sting and Lex Luger and Macho Man. You know, they were fighting on behalf of WCW to save WCW from these outsiders. And Hogan turning on WCW to join the NWO was part of the thing. And so the person that jumps out at me that could fill that sort of role would be Big E turning on the NWO.
On the New Day?
On the New Day, excuse me. Yes, on the New Day. And, you know, you'd have to build it up. First of all, you'd have to reunite them. That's one thing there. And, you know, I had high hopes when they split up the New Day that they were going to start doing something with Big E on SmackDown, and they've done a little bit, but not really much. I mean, Big E really should be in the world title picture, in my opinion, not
Right.
fighting.
He should have won that
Apollo
Rumble.
Crews. Yeah.
He should have won that Rumble or that Chamber. He wasn't even in the Chamber match, I don't think. They definitely should have done something with him for sure.
And like I said, put him in the world title picture instead of fighting with Apollo Crews over the IC belt.
Right.
But and the same thing with the rest of the New Day on Raw. I mean, this last week they had the big announcement that Kofi's going to go after the world title, the WWE title. But that's been a long time building up to it.
Right.
So in reality, you know, I think they just need to get the New Day back together. It's going to be epic when they come back together, right?
For sure.
Bring them back together. Bring them in a program against a big group. And I don't mean big as in like large numbers. I mean a big group. To be perfectly honest, the table. Bring them all together on SmackDown. Put them against
The table.
Roman and the table. This big dominant group. and have them, you know, have this match, this big setup match. Even you could even do it like a 3-on-3 Hell in a Cell or something like that, where it's the New Day versus the table. Now, of course, events of the last day have made that a little bit tougher.
Freaking, I don't forget which one it is. Jimmy.
Jimmy.
That's it.
But you could even have it a 2-on-2, Roman and Jay versus Kofi and Xavier with Big E on the outside of the Hell in a Cell, and you could have it, you know, middle of the match. Roman and Jay are beating up. They've isolated Kofi off away. Xavier is locked up in a corner with a chain or something. Big E finds his way into the ring. Maybe you even have him do a cane, rip the door off the hinges moment to it. And he comes in looking like he's going to make the save. And instead, he delivers a big ending to Kofi to deliver the victory to the table. Oh, what?
How could he?
How could he? And then he joins the table. That's, in my opinion, probably the closest you could get to that big of a turn now. And I think part of the problem is, A, WWE doesn't build stars. We've talked about it before. they build moments, and this requires there to be a star.
Right.
And B, the few stars that have been built have flipped heel to face over and over again.
Right.
The only ones that really haven't has been the New Day, and that's not even 100% true because they started off as heels. So they flipped to face when they became super popular. I mean, in reality, it was them responding to, well, crap, no one boos these people, they cheer them, so let's go ahead and make them face. But they since then stayed that way.
You can't see my gyrations, but they were happening.
I can tell you were doing it.
WWE.
So yeah, so that would be the way I would do it. And Big E is the most. I mean, you could make an argument for Kofi doing the turn on the others, and that would be as shocking as Big E. But I just think Big E making the change would be the better.
No.
It's funny that Xavier Woods is automatically Lex Luger in this conversation.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. But the messed up part about doing it for New Day, or doing it against the table, Roman is still the leader, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can't have. So, but I guess whatever, you can always change it up, and I think that would actually be amazing for Big E.
Yeah, I think it would be. I think it would allow Big E to stretch his muscles, both creatively and actually physically. I mean, if he literally came in and became the muscles for the table, the enforcement,
The legs
table,
for the
you
table.
know. Yeah. I think that could be a big deal for him. But like if you were to have me do something like this 6 months ago, or a year ago, I would have said, well, in NXT, having Johnny Gargano turn would be, because he'd been the face of the face of NXT for a long time, and then they had him turn.
Right.
And I thought, well, you could kind of reverse it and have someone turn on the Undisputed Era, and then they did that, and so I'm like,
Right.
what else? I mean, in AEW, like, I guess you could argue having Cody turn heel would be big, but I mean, he's been heel before, just not in AEW.
And he's
Right.
got a natural hero persona. He's got that ability.
Exactly.
That's
And so
it.
I don't know if it would be.
apropos.
Yeah, I don't know if it would be shocking, like the Hulk Hogan was. And the only one in WWE that I can really see as truly shocking to have that heel turn is probably Big E or Kofi, I guess. But let's see what DA Fabe has to say.
Well, we currently have an invasion angle going on right now in one of these promotions, and that is Impact and AEW. Because of that, I think that the right move here is to actually play along with that. I think the shocking part about Scott Hall and Kevin Nash is that they came over and we expected it to be somebody from outside. They made a great tag team, and I think using an existing tag team might be a pretty good move here. So I would have Anderson come over and start kind of messing some stuff up and interfering, making it look like it's something the Elite is doing. And then he would say, my big friend's going to show up, and that'd be Gallows. You could even have Gallows, maybe Powerbomb, Excalibur, or Shivani. I think Shivani'd be a good move there too, because he was there for both of them. I was the mastermind to all of it. And then you have the match that's occurring at Bash at the Beach, and of course you have the two wrestlers, Anderson and Gallows, kind of running roughshod over shit. We'll just make it an all Elite Wrestling like superstar squad, because we don't think it's gonna be we don't think it's gonna be Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks, because we think that they're friends with them. So we're already ruling those guys out, and we're like, no, you guys can't be a part of this because you're the bad guys. We know what you're doing, and so immediately you start to think maybe Hangman Page, because they're ruling those guys out and they're banned from it, and Hangman's still kind of there, and it's not Hangman. And so then you start thinking, well, shit, did they get Finn Balor? Did they get this guy? Did they get that? Did they get Marty Scurll? Yeah, go ahead and get pissed off that I even said his name, Smarks. But what you have on the other team of the three is you have a 6-man tournament to get to be the three. So you've got Cody, who people are already a little bit nervous about because he's been part of the Bullet Club, but they're like, Cody, you wouldn't tear down your own company. Maybe you would, I don't know. Versus shit, I don't know. Jungle Boy, and then you have Luchasaurus and Darby, and you have I don't know, maybe a couple heel-esque people like Brian Cage and somebody else. Well, then you have
Hobbs or something.
Yeah, something along those lines. Of course, your final three, it just makes sense to have it be Jungle Boy, Darby, and probably Brian Cage. So you're just like, the obvious turn here is going to be Brian Cage. Because he's already heely a little bit. That's kind of what we thought, even if it was going to happen with the guys in the group, we thought it was going to be Lex, because he'd had a little bit of heel time. And they're in the match, and Anderson and Gallows have managed to separate off the group, and so they've just kind of been destroying people, and they're about ready to destroy Darby, and out comes It's Sting! And the guy who was originally the number 2 choice for the NWO leader comes out, and you think he's going to save Darby, and Scorpion Death drops Darby.
That'd be kind of cool.
And so then it's Sting, who's always been a face and never had a heel turn, is leading this group. And about the same age as Hogan was when he did that.
And AEW plays into the what ifs though. You know what I mean? What if it was Sting? Well, 25 years later, you can find out. Although, it's Gallows and Anderson. That's cool. I like that.
I'm going to play off that a little bit, but I'm going to do a twist on it because I just thought of this. Because I was talking AEW and I was talking WWE, but the invasion is going both ways.
Yeah.
It's going to Impact as well.
Okay.
Who would be the biggest potential turn in Impact? Moose.
Yeah.
So you have a match that's Team AEW or Team Bullet Club, you could call it, where it's Gallows, Anderson, and Kenny Omega, or what
Young Bucks.
whatever, Young Bucks, whatever, whoever, versus Team Impact. And you have it be Impact staples like Eddie Edwards, Rich Swann, Moose. And you have them in kind of a mirror of the Bash at the Beach thing. You have this be a 3-on-3 match, but one person gets taken out. And so it's effectively a 2-on-3. And the heels are dominating Eddie Edwards and Rich Swann. Just dominating them. And out comes Moose to save the day. But does he save the day? No. He turns on them. And he can even deliver a speech about how, I was your TNA world champion and no one respected me. But these guys came in and they gave me the respect that I deserve. Sort of a thing. So we're starting a new organization on Impact, the NOI.
NOW, new organization for wrestling.
Yeah.
Now.
I was specifically trying to choose an acronym that didn't include W in it because I guarantee you they would get sued by WWE if they chose those three letters. Even a different
NOW.
that was like NOI, and then they could bring in Jacob Fatu and play on it being the NOIE. NOI.
I don't know if that was a very fashionable one, but
Yeah.
That'd be pretty badass, though.
we'll
too.
have to ask our other special guest later if that was very fashionable.
Hey, Big Daddy Cool. Did that work for you? I think he's got to go take a rest. I think he tore his quad.
Why is the only noise that he makes a horn?
Because he's Diesel, and that was his entrance music.
That's his entrance. It's not him. It's not all he didn't just walk.
He never
So-
talked. As Diesel, he
Well,
never
shit,
really
he didn't
talked.
ever talk. He was the world champion for like a year.
Not as Diesel. I don't think he said much.
Yes, he was.
Was he? Did he? I
All
don't
in
remember him talking
1995,
to
it was the crappy year of wrestling.
That's why I forgot it. Thanks for reminding me.
If you had to watch 95 WWE, 2000 WCW, or 2020 WWE, which one would you choose?
I'd probably choose 95 because I was too young to really remember what went on. So I'd probably
Yeah,
choose
it
95.
at least would be fresh for me.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't remember it, so I'd be like, oh, really? Oh, wow. But,
Anyway,
okay. Anyway. Well, that one it wasn't bad. Like you say, the problems with that
It wasn't good.
come down to WWE not developing
Lifelong face.
stars. Yeah,
Yep.
the lifelong
Yeah.
faces. And I mean,
I guess
WWE
early
got
2000s would be like John Cena. If John Cena were to do that, or The Rock, or Austin back
Well,
then.
and,
That's so long
you know,
ago.
Yeah, for instance, they had really close to that not too long ago when Seth turned on the Shield.
Right.
But they didn't spend literally 10 years building up the Shield as this ultimate face group with Seth as one of them. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Hulk Hogan had a career behind him of being the ultimate face.
Right.
And suddenly.
Well, I mean, even Seth turning on the fans, right? When he initially went heel after the Shield and all that, just Seth being heel and doing that promo of, you know what, screw you fans. And then I think he went against the Mojo or something. But like even that, but again, Seth was a crazy face, but it's just that it's hard. It's hard to get another Hogan. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So
It is tough, but okay. DFA, you want to go next? You want me to go next?
You can go next. That's fine.
Okay, mine's gonna be a little more interactive between you two. Of
course it is.
So, my challenge to you is I want a at least 5-person trade between NXT and AEW, right? But here's the twist for it. I'm going to have each of you choose one side, AEW or NXT, and you have to work the trade out between the two of you.
we'll snap.
So one of you proposes, I want this wrestler from your promotion, and the other person has to say, well, to get that wrestler, I would need this wrestler in return, or maybe
So,
these wrestlers.
I
in
think
return.
I think the appropriate way to do this would be for me to be AEW and for you to be NXT, as we know each other's rosters better than. I mean, those were the items we covered back when we did weekly shows.
Well, you would be NXT, though.
No, because I'm more familiar with the NXT roster, and you're more familiar with the AEW roster. So you'd be trying to pull your AEW
okay.
people over, and I'd be trying to pull the NXT over.
That's
so we
fair.
don't have to as often look online.
Right. That's valid.
So, as the general manager of AEW, the first person I'd love to bring over from NXT that is not going to try and make too many waves in your world. I want to be nice, but I want one Candice LeRae.
Okay, Candice LeRae is on the trading block. Who would
Trying to build the women's roster over here at AEW.
so
LeRae's
who
really
would
good. That's
NXT
a-
need from AEW to allow that trade to go through? Now,
I
to
feel
be
bad
clear here,
because AEW. Go ahead.
what? And you don't have. It doesn't have to be, female to female, right? So
No,
I
yeah,
know.
I mean, you can come at me for Darby. I'm just going to tell you to fuck off.
Right.
you can do whatever, or you could propose multiples. You could say, if you want Candice LeRae, then I want Chucky T and Trent, or whatever. A
Right.
bundle, it's all about making it work for the both of you, making this trade make sense.
That's fair. All right. In order for you to get Candice LeRae, I would like Ooh, can he can't technically give away Thunder Rosa though, right? Because that's
Technically, she's
NWA.
not on my roster.
Yeah, technically
Okay.
she's on loan from NWA, so
Okay. That's fair. So all right. I mean it'd be kind of fair for you. I would like for Candice LeRae, I would like Abaddon and Jade.
Fuck you.
I thought I was being kind of fair with Abaddon. Oh, you still have Britt and Nyla and okay.
I think as an outstanding outside observer,
Candice
it was
LeRae is
probably
phenomenal.
it was probably the Jade part that
I know.
put that over.
I know.
I think as the
I think
general
you got a little
manager
bit
for-
greedy there, pal.
I did-
Like,
I
as the
did-
general
I
manager for
tried.
AEW,
I mean,
he probably
Candice-
has plans for Jade.
I was all in. I thought you were going to go with Hobbs. I really thought you were going to go with Powerhouse Hobbs, and I thought that's a pretty fair move. In fact, I'd probably let you have Hobbs and say like an Emi Sakura for Candice LeRae. I think Sakura has been a title contender, but she's not going to ever hold it in my organization. And I think for you, Hobbs is a gift because it gives somebody who's a viable challenger almost immediately for Powerhouse roles. Now that doesn't. No, I don't think he's Keith Lee. I think he's a North American champion pretty quick, though. And in that light, that's where I was like, okay, well, yeah, if he says that category of two or a single wrestler, if you went after Abaddon by herself.
Why not?
I think the sellability of Candice LeRae versus Abaddon's incredibly great in-ring performances is always a plus. But then I'm underselling Candice LeRae's in-ring performance as well. So if you wanted to go men, Marco Stunt, you can have Marco Stunt for Candice LeRae. That's a win, right? You'd have somebody to wrestle against.
Bro, if you're taking Candice LeRae, I'm getting Abaddon and Luchasaurus, which you wouldn't do.
No.
No.
Luchasaurus is not leaving my roster. So are you taking away?
Okay. Give me. What's her name? Give me Abaddon and Big Swole.
Okay, I'll agree to that as long as I get another pick of my choosing on your women's roster.
So then you won't agree to it.
Well, I get another pick of my choosing from your women's roster. Anybody I want.
Yeah.
No, so then you're not agreeing to it. You want to go 2 for 2.
I'll
Abaddon
swap
is
2 to 2.
So counteroffer.
Counter offer then.
if
My
you
counter
want-
offer is that you don't get to know who I'm picking though until after you agree to it.
No.
Okay.
No.
Well, okay, then I'll be nice and I'll say I will absolutely do that so long as I get the remainder of the Gargano family women, and I get Indy Hartwell as well. I think that's fair.
Okay, so the proposed trade is Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell for Abaddon and Big Swole.
I think Indy Hartwell and Abaddon is a very fair trade. I think Big Swole has a lot of upside in the ring for powerhousey, and you need that with your women's title right now. And I need something that can pop ratings like Candice LeRae can.
I'll agree to that because that's a good trade for AEW too. I like that. Okay, I'll agree.
It's good for both. Okay, your proposal for the second trade. This is gonna be tough as fuck.
I okay. I will give you LA Knight and Bronson Reed. For Brian Cage.
I'll take it.
Nice. All right.
That seems like a pretty balanced trade.
Yeah, that's kind of fair.
I'll take that fair. I'll take that trade. Yep.
I mean, wannabe Rock and
Yeah,
big
I
guy.
mean, like LA Knight on NXT, I don't think is working all that great.
2 weeks
but-
ago, right after the pay-per-view on NXT, I'm out. But after tonight, I'm in. I think I'll take that.
Oh snap! What did he
So-
do tonight?
I have to go back and watch, bud.
Yeah, I guess I will. I don't hear your reviews anymore, so you know I usually like.
Yeah, well, it wouldn't be out till Friday anyway, so.
It's valid. It's a valid point.
All right.
Trade number 3.
I will give you FTR for a reunited Undisputed Era. All 4 of them.
Oh. Whoa.
I know your emotions for FTR. That's where I'm going.
Mm. It's really not fair.
No, it's not.
If you, man, the only way I would.
He's gonna moderate this one because I think this one's gonna get dirty.
Yeah, hold me back, Diesel. Hold me back. Hold me back. Okay, only if you give me Jungle Boy with that, and you can have the Undisputed Era. FDR, Jungle
And
Boy.
Jungle Boy for
For Undisputed Era.
I like the idea of Luchasaurus' free run. I'm gonna take it.
Oh snap! Hook up.
Okay.
Ah,
Trade number
bittersweet.
4.
it was bittersweet.
Trade number 4. Your proposal.
Okay. Hold on. I don't think I'm entirely remembering. Okay. Ooh, no, I would want to keep him. Okay. I will give you so got a tag team there. You won't go for it though. Got so silent. I will. Okay, let's see. Maybe you will. I will give you. I will give you.
Looker.
Yeah, I know for sure. I have to just in case because I feel like that one person won't be enough. Okay. Okay. I will give you Pete Dunne. Santos Escobar.
Ooh, things are getting interesting. Mm-hmm. Do I get the whole group?
No, you just get Escobar.
Okay.
And yeah, so I will give you Pete Dunne and Santos Escobar. Did I already take Jungle Boy?
Yes, you already got him.
Yes,
I already got him, right? Okay,
yes.
Good. Yep. Perfect. Just making sure. For what's I forget that team there. They're very rubber bandy. They kind of play every so often. They kind of are like the Young Bucks.
Very rubber bandy.
Yeah, they're very flippy. Very flip-de-doo. I always forget their freaking names.
You're really not narrowing it down with the.
You're trying to take MSK from me? Is that what you're saying?
No, not MSK.
No, because you're representing AEW.
Yeah,
so
it's not
MSK.
I have
Are you
MSK.
talking Private Party?
No, not Private Party.
Top Flight.
Best Friends.
Not Best Friends either. They're not called Top Flight either. They're mostly kind of they're every so often on Dynamite, but they're usually on Dark. Fucking Christ. Because I feel like these guys need more fucking camera time too. AEW Tech. I'll get their names. Claimed no. The claim is nice.
You already took FTR from me, bud.
For sure. The Hybrid.
Okay.
Give me the remainder. Give me the remainder of Legado del Fantasma, and it's yours.
Who is the remainder of Legado and Fantasma? Who are the two guys, though?
Raul Mendoza and
Oscar Wilde. I'm not taking MSK or anything here, bud.
Yeah, but I'm giving you Stable and Pete Dunne with that.
Okay, pull Pete Dunne off. I'll give it to you with just all of Legado del Fantasma.
For the hybrid?
For the hybrid, yep. 2 for 3.
All right, I'm down with that. I'll accept that. I think that's fair. I have faith in the hybrid more so than AEW does.
I feel like you're building for the future and I'm building for the money.
Sounds that way.
So, trade number 5, last trade. I'm going to make it a big one. On the block is MJF and Jon Moxley.
Oh, shit. Okay.
In exchange for Killer Cross, because that's what he's going to be named when he comes back over here.
Mm-hmm.
Scarlett Bordeaux and Finn Balor.
And I get MJF and Jon Moxley?
Yes.
I don't want to bring Jon Moxley. Can you give me someone else besides Jon? I just feel really bad bringing Jon Moxley.
Make a counteroffer.
Killer Cross, Scarlett, and
Finn Balor. I can give you the rest of the Pinnacle. I'll give you all of the Pinnacle because you already got FTR. So it'll be MJF, Wardlow, and Murder Hawk. Sean Spears. Sean Spears. Yep. Sean Spears. For Karrion Kross, Finn Balor, and Scarlett Bordeaux. MJF's a lot of upside, bud.
MJF does have a lot of upside. All right, I think that's fair. I think I'll agree to that.
Oh my god, I just fucking robbed you blind.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of Karrion Kross though. I have more faith of MJF really building my future, and Wardlow is really. I think Wardlow can kind of be my new Karrion Kross.
I'm just saying you could have asked for more out of it. You could have said the
I
rest
probably
of the
I got
Pinnacle
Finn Balor
and-
and Karrion Kross and another woman for my women's division.
That's
Yeah.
true. I should have.
I mean, I would have said.
There were multiple times I robbed you pretty hard there.
Yeah. I think.
It's all right.
I think if the viewers weigh in, they'll say
Why,
that
general manager?
DA Fabe got the better end of those trades. I think. But,
There's a couple spots. I don't.
Oh,
I mean, I don't know. FTR for FTR and Jungle Boy for all of Undisputed Era was money.
no, for sure. But I was kind of building. Yeah, I was more building for the future though, kind of thing.
If you want to see some arguing next week, remember that and throw it at Smarks and I. We will have some serious fun with that. There will be some serious, but don't make it 5 because we won't make it to 5 before we want to hate each other.
we might make it to 2 and then be at each other's throats. Okay?
Like,
Fuck
why are you such a fucking thief?
I definitely got to do a lot more of those kinds for you guys though, because I would like to see you guys battle it out. You guys are definitely more knowledgeable, I guess. Not
I
knowledgeable,
hate
but
giving
more,
you Finn Balor
more aggressive.
and Karrion Kross for fucking
MJF.
No fucking way.
Well,
You guys-
I thought he wouldn't give me. He's not going to give me Kenny, obviously. He's not going to give me Cody Rhodes.
But I did. I mean, I stepped up by having Moxley involved in that.
Yeah. I mean, he was willing to do Moxley. You know, he
I
might have
know.
been willing to have done maybe not Kenny, but maybe Cody. You know,
maybe Cody. Yeah.
maybe you could have taken the Young Bucks, put them in NXT.
I don't think he would have got rid of Venom.
Oh, can you imagine MSK versus Young Bucks? I almost went after MSK in that lineup, that last one, but I was like, nah, there's no way he's letting MSK go.
And you probably would have given them up too. I was gonna say, okay, then give me the Acclaimed, because the Acclaimed, I feel you would have definitely have no problem giving up if I was gonna give you Karrion and Finn Balor with.
But I wouldn't have given you up MJF with the Acclaimed.
Okay, yeah, that's what I figured. Maybe so.
I like me some MJF. I need somebody who can be as evil. Karrion Kross is as evil. Karrion Kross is as evil in the ring as MJF is on the mic.
That's
How
fair.
do you like that for a voice quote? Go ahead and post that on your fucking socials,
Yeah.
bitches.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
Okay. We
Well,
shall
I'm a
move
little
on
wound up.
to the final challenge.
So mine was way cheesier than both yours. I should have been in the middle. It should have been a Fabe sandwich. And mine was cheesier mostly because of the other special guest that we have this evening. As you know, Smarks has dolls for his special guest, and I have a doll. Okay. Sorry, I didn't mean to call you a doll, but you're beautiful, man. All right, sorry. Don't get mad. Anyway, and just like last night, I had one CM Punk on. It's a punk. I wrote CM on it. Tonight, we have somebody who's a specialist in fashion, who's upset that the fashion police got fired recently. One, Simon Dean, showed up for this show. I'm sorry, they're terrible. Mine are so bad. Anyway, so my thoughts were, since we're talking about mid-card heroes when we talk about fashion, I want you to rebook somebody, a mid-carder. I want you to rebook them still in a mid-card role. Like I don't need you to make Apollo Crews the world champion. I didn't need you to make take your pick. Not Big E, not Kofi, the other one, Xavier Woods. You don't have to book his path to the championship. Just rebook their existing role and give me 6 months worth. That's all I'm asking. Any brand, one guy, any brand, perpetual mid-carder in a better mid-card role.
What if I want to make certain two mid-cards a tag team and it would be kind of better for them?
Yeah, absolutely. Like if you decide that Mustafa Ali and Mansoor right now should become a tag team and that's obviously a mid-card title, then that's what you do. But you've got to build it. Whatever it is, you got to build it from now till 6 months from now and however their role runs with the new story. So you're taking them through Survivor Series.
Snap. Okay.
You can even, choose NXT and have Halloween Havoc involved. However you want to do it, man. Surprise the world.
Okay. I'll go first because
you can even make it about fashion. Simon Dean says so.
Do I have to make it about fashion?
No, you can just choose to make it about fashion. I think that's a horrible decision. Simon says that's a horrible decision to go about fashion. So
one team I'd be very curious to make them kind of at least do something. And I think they would actually be pretty entertaining kind of as a tag team. And I could see them go pretty far just because both of them, have not been doing much recently. One has been a king for so long and kind of in this Shinsuke fiasco, and now he's going to be Happy Corbin or whatever have you. And the other one was just in a strap match with Jackson Riker. I would really love to see a tag with Baron Corbin and Elias. And I
like it.
It would be brute force with Corbin being the guy mostly. Like, they both can talk, but obviously Corbin would be the better of the two talking. I could see them maybe do something where Corbin is still kind of down in the dumps and he just sees, like, who won, by the way, between that strap match with Elias and Riker?
I'm pretty sure Riker won, but to be perfect,
Riker won.
Okay. So... Corbin, I guess that's kind of how they meet. Corbin is kind of down in the dumps. We see Elias kind of down in the dumps playing his guitar, and they both kind of say, hey, you know what, man, we've kind of always been left out. I'm not going to do WWE's Happy Corbin thing because I don't see Corbin being a face. I don't think that'll be good for Corbin. But I just see them ultimately dominating the SmackDown division. Obviously, Elias would go to SmackDown. Or, I mean, they could do tag teams. No, tag teams can't switch, right? It's only the women's tag
Only
team.
if they're women.
So I don't know, man. I would just, especially for live crowds, this would be a good time. They would be heels though, right? I don't think, although Elias would be good at face, and the whole walk with Elias is done, but I feel like you can also maybe do something else with the WWE stands for. I don't know. I can't think of anything over the top. But just them as a tag team is like a godsend. There's no good tag teams anymore. You have freaking Montez Ford losing to shaved Otis, and nothing's going on there, and they just don't know what they're doing anymore. So I don't know how exactly you just kind of build them as dominating, wreck everything and leave sort of deal. I don't really have a good booking strategy though for them, aside from you have to make them heels. And I don't know what else to technically do.
Well, you got to take them through Survivor Series. Are they on the team together in Survivor Series?
Well, they would be, yeah. So they would be on it would be all heel SmackDown team though for Survivor Series.
Okay.
So you would have Elias, Corbin. I guess you got to you would.
Somebody sending Morse code over there, or what's going on?
My bad.
Oh, that's you. Okay. I thought it was Smarks.
I've got my own little clicky clacky thing.
Him and his Rubik's Cube. You solve it yet? Jesus. Yeah, I don't know. You kind of maybe you kind of. Yeah, you. I don't know. I can't book this. Take them to Survivor Series. Maybe Survivor Series is when they would win the championship. Who the hell are champions on SmackDown right now, anyways?
SmackDown champions are.
Almost went with AJ and Almost, but they're Raw.
That's Raw. Street Profits? No.
Is it still Rude and Ziggler?
Dirty Dogs?
I think it's still Rude and Ziggler, but I gotta be honest, I'm gonna look it up because I don't remember.
Longest reigning, least defending champions. They're trying to join up with Brock Lesnar on holding the title the longest without defending it.
Yeah, I think that's what's happening. So I don't know. I guess maybe you don't put them in the Survivor Series matchup. You kind of just build up.
Nope. It's fucking. Ray and Dominic are the tag champions.
That's right. That just happened. That's why we intentionally tried to forget about it.
Yes, that's why.
Valid.
As soon as I saw
First
that, I was
ever.
like,
Did they even defend their titles yet? Not even, I don't think.
I don't think so. But...
They're going after Brock Lesnar's longest defending champion without defending it.
Yeah, it's going to be a whole thing. First ever father-son tag team champions and longest reigning is probably what's going to happen. So yeah, they maybe end up facing. Maybe there ends up being a whole crazy tournament. Man, even it's a little too late since Money in the Bank is what, this Sunday, next Sunday. But whatever. So they can't do it. I was thinking they do like a tag team Money in the Bank thing to see.
You can take it a full year. That's fine.
Fine. And that's where they kind of get their kind of push, doing like a tag team Money in the Bank. We can challenge whenever. They get the briefcases. I'm surprised I haven't thought of this. I guess they don't care about their tag teams. So they kind of just wreck everything, and then they face Ray and Dom, and they just pulverize them. Absolutely pulverize them. And I think that's kind of your biggest tag team that they have at the moment, because between Baron Corbin's crazy finishers and Elias's kind of like good build, you kind of could also give Elias new stuff, a new moveset, if you will, that would kind of coincide to Baron Corbin's, two crazy finishers and so on and so forth. But them two would be like a giant tag team. They would just, I feel they would be pretty decent. But I honestly wouldn't know how you would book it aside from them just running through the tag division on both SmackDown and Raw. They're kind of rebels in that sense.
Unfortunately, I don't think that Baron Corbin has an exclusive finisher anymore. It looks like Jackson Riker is still in Deep Six. So.
Oh, really?
Kind of. It's not exactly the same, but
freaking Riker couldn't just stick to hitting himself with a belt. Fucking. I mean, whatever. At least he's on TV. Thank you very much. Where's Diesel? Damn it!
Diesel just tore his quad.
So I don't know. I mean, it would be something fresh, and at least they both get TV time, because this whole Riker Elias thing is stupid. It's not going anywhere. You put them together and then you separate them. Clearly, he's not doing anything on Raw, so I think the smarter move is to bring them over to SmackDown. There's a lot more tag teams there that they can actually go up against and do something with. So I don't know. You just make them win the tag team as long as Dominic and Ray get rid of the tag team titles before that, or whatever. You make them lose at Survivor Series, and that's
Ray gets injured because he's old.
He tore his quad by trying to do the 619. Oh no, the 619! And then and then Dominic Mysterio gets like a stomach ulcer from trying to do the frog splash, and then he's also out for quite some time.
He turns the 619 into a 911.
Yep, pretty much. Ooh.
Oh, bitch.
So yeah, I really didn't have anything aside from them two being really a tag team, because I would really like to see that.
Hey,
considering we're not doing anything with either of them.
Mid-card. That's fair.
Yeah, that's fair. Can't get any more mid-card than that.
Okay, my turn. I'm going to go with AEW. And it's going to be with one of the guys in AEW that I think, frankly, has been underutilized. And there's lots of reasons. I get some of the reasons. I don't think he clicked with the fans quite as well, but every major match that he's put on has been just an absolute banger. And that's Joey Janela.
Amen. I like it.
So here's what I'm going to have Joey Janela do. I am going to have him show up one day with a homemade belt, a homemade title belt. And by homemade, I mean truly homemade. Like, it's the lid off of a small trash can and cloth from a tablecloth cut into a belt shape. Things like that, right? And he's going to announce that he's reviving the concept of a hardcore championship belt. He'll call it something else, maybe the Deathmatch Champion or something like that. But that's going to be his belt that he created. And he's going to start defending it on Dynamite. Or Rampage, on one of their shows. And then he's going to enter into this program where he does an open challenge every week for that belt that he created. But the big twist on it is he gets to choose the stipulation. Anyone can challenge him for it, but he gets to choose the stipulation. And so each week he's going to choose a different stipulation, or, most of the time, not necessarily each week. But the big twist at the end, when he successfully defends it, he uses something from that to augment and add to the belt. So if it's a thumbtacks match, at the end of it, he takes a handful of thumbtacks and sticks them into the belt to keep the belt growing. And it just keeps looking more and more dangerous the more matches he's in. But this would allow him to be Outlaw Mud Show wrestler on TV on a regular basis, and show what he can do. Because, yes, I think he can wrestle the non-deathmatch style wrestling. But I think, throw him out there and have it be a light tubes match one night where, whoever throws the other person through these light tubes wins. And there's just a stack of light tubes on the side. And in the end, he's able to throw someone through the light tubes. And so then he takes some glass. The next time he comes out, there's shards of glass on the belt that he carries out to the ring.
Oh, snap.
But it's an unsanctioned belt. AEW says, we don't claim this belt. It's not one of ours. But he just continues to come out. And so then you can have matches with some of the more hardcore people like Dr. Luther, come out and do a hardcore match. You can have Jon Moxley come out and challenge him to a match and have him just barely escape with a victory because he stacks the deck in his favor by making it a match that he knows he's going to have an advantage over Jon Moxley in. Like a handicap match, it's you versus me and my friend or something like that. You know what I mean? Things like that where he stacks it up. That way it's not so much about elevating him, but it's also not lowering Jon Moxley. You know what I mean? Jon Moxley still comes away from it looking good because even if he lost with the odds stacked against him in a deathmatch style match. And maybe even more than just the 2-on-1. Maybe it's a 3-on-1 handicap or a 4-on-1 handicap. Joey Janela gets a couple extra people to help him on that. Or maybe it's a forklift match. Whoever pins the other person beneath a forklift wins.
I feel like that would not be good.
A Legos match.
Yeah, Legos match. Whoever forces the opponent to stand on Legos wins.
Joey Janela versus Marco Stunt Legos match.
Yeah, and that's the deal is like, maybe you even play it off where he's like, there's some people who like, well, it's an unsanctioned belt. I don't even want this. And so he's like, fine, I'm calling it in. I'm saying going against Marco Stunt this week. Marco, get out here. And Marco's like, I don't want to do this. And they're like, we're doing I don't know, thumbtack match, or a garbage can on a pole match. Whoever can pull down the garbage can and hit the opponent with it wins. But I can see that being easily a 6 month to a year sort of program where he's defending this absolute garbage belt that no one else cares about except for him, really, And I like the idea of it being a belt that no one cares about. Like, he's the only one that really cares about it. Some of the times people just challenge him just to try to get him to shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? I was like, I don't want the belt. I just want you to stop coming out here and taking up our time. So I'm challenging you to a match. If I win, the belt goes away and you never mention it again. And
did Joey ever face Darby?
I know they have before, but
like in AEW
major match, I'm not sure.
Because I'm like, first of all, where has Joey been? I know he's been doing a lot more indie stuff.
He's been doing some stuff on Dark.
Okay,
they're in the process of a program with him breaking up the tag team with Sonny Kiss, which because I really liked that tag team when it started, and then they just didn't do anything with them.
Yeah.
But so they're breaking that. I mean, I think it's officially broken up now. So there's going to be some matches that's Sonny Kiss versus Joey Janela coming up at some point. But
and I really got to stop watching. I really got to start watching Dark or something because I have not been looking at those YouTube shows at all.
Wrestled on AEW TV since
the boxing match.
May. So yeah, it's been a while. Yeah. Well, he had an Adam Page match, Hangman Page.
Okay.
But before that, he was on Dark. I feel like they had him on something recently. I don't know, maybe. But let's just see. Check cage match to see if.
Damn, I almost feel like their dark shows sometimes have better matches.
Darby defeated Joey Janela for the TNT title back in February. So they were against each other in that match.
Damn, okay.
And then they wrestled a few times on the Indies. Darby defeated him at SFP Sound and Fury back in 2018. Janelle defeated Darby at GCW Worst Behavior. But I like the idea of it just being this total just garbage belt. And literally garbage, just made out of just trash and stuff. I think that would be a fun.
So you're telling me you're not going to have Mick present it and then just have a bunch of people run to the ring and...
No. In fact, I'm going to basically do the opposite. I'm going to do, like I said, I'm going to make it where
wants it.
nobody wants that belt except him.
Like, the first time
there's
John
not gonna
Silver
be-
comes out and they're like, thumbtacks match, and he's like, everybody's like, well, I'm not going after that title now because John Silver was dumb enough to go after it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's whatever. In fact, you could even have it where Joey Janela's like walking backstage and just challenges someone backstage. He's walking along and there's, Alex Reynolds, and he's like, hey, I beat your friend the other time. Now I'm going to beat you. And Alex Reynolds is like, no, I don't want this match. He's like, that's it. It's a, we're doing right now, hardcore match. It's a tables match. And he just literally grabs Alex Reynolds and powerbombs him through a table backstage. And no ref there at all. You know what I mean? He's like, I win. Woo! Holds up this garbage belt above his head. Yeah.
Thank you, Randy.
And Joey Janela would be cool enough to make it fun. You know what I mean? Like, it would be a good time. It wouldn't be like a shit show like 24/7 championship.
I seriously want somebody on AEW now to go, thanks, Randy.
Yeah.
Just one time.
for you,
Just
Randy.
one time.
Oh my god, Angelico faces Orange Cassidy in a dark match? Damn, I'm really missing out on AEW Dark here.
The problem is, like, I'm missing out on Dark a lot too because they've got Dark and Dark Elevation. That's almost 4 hours of additional wrestling in the week, and of course, Elevation is on Monday nights. And so I'm like,
Well, I mean, to be fair, you're not missing much on Raw.
no, but I feel like I have to watch it still. And then,
Well, I mean, the problem with Dark 2 is there's honestly some matches where you just have a known guy with a nobody, and
Well,
you're
yeah.
like, eh.
that's part of the thing is there are a lot of matches on Dark that are just predictable.
Like,
You know what I mean?
with
You
this
look at him and
Cassidy
you're like-
Angelico match, I imagine Cassidy will win. But I'm like, Angelico's a known enough star to... But
Yeah, that's
for sure.
That's one of the ones where it's like, okay, I can see that going either way potentially, but so often it's like the Blade versus Trey Lamar. I don't know who Trey Lamar is, so I'm pretty sure the Blade's gonna win that. Chris Statlander versus Viva Van. Never heard of her.
Oh,
Statlander's
yeah.
gonna
Let's go, Viva.
yeah. The Hughes brothers versus QT Marshall and Aaron Solo. Well, Aaron Solo and QT Marshall are in a program as the Nightmare Factory right now, so that's going to go to them. Lance Archer versus Ryan Mantell. If you don't think that's going to be a 30-second squash match of Ryan Mantell, I don't know who you're talking about.
Murder.
Tay Conti versus Kylan King. That Kylan King has been growing a bit, but there's no way they're going to have her beat Tay Conti right now.
Right.
But then they have some that you're like, well, maybe. Jack Evans with Matt Hardy and Angelico versus Mike Seidel with Matt Seidel there. You're like, I mean, maybe.
Hardy's
they
brand
could
is
go
probably going to win.
Yeah, I could see it going either way because they're also pushing the Seidels, but
Right.
that's a little closer. But then you've got Eddie Kingston and Penta versus Luther and Serpentico.
Sorry, Luther and Serpentico, you're taking the L.
Yeah. What does Simon Dean have to say about that?
Jesus. One job.
Hold on 1 second. We're going to check in on the torn quad cam. Yep, it's still torn.
Sorry, I just didn't want to recap Dark. So
No, I'm just saying
Dean told me
that's
to stop recapping.
that's just the problem with Dark, is that so many of the matches are just like, you can look at them and you know how it's going to go, and once you know how it's going to go, you're like, well, why should I even watch this match? You know,
That's it.
why should I watch, an hour and a half of wrestling that I already know who's going to win almost all the matches?
Well, I mean, we watched 3 hours of wrestling on Raw, where we already...
Yeah, so why would I do that again?
It's valid.
So,
But my sword, it comes from the tooth of the Loch Ness Monster.
For some reason, he got Russian.
Yeah,
The Loch Ness Monster came from Mother Russia.
Mother Russia. In Russia, Bulgarian means not American.
So we will go ahead now
yes, it does.
and move on to our game, AEW, Ring of Honor, or Impact. This is
Are you
pretty
going
simple.
old school?
Well, I'm just still calling it that because that's just what I already have programmed into the computer.
Okay.
But I might still twist it up. This game is pretty simple. I throw out 3 wrestlers, and they have to relocate them to a different promotion. And we always used to do it WWE wrestlers, but we kind of went through most of the WWE combination. Not all of them, but quite a lot of them, so it's a little harder. So I think we're going to do an AEW team right now. So I'm going to give you 3 current AEW wrestlers that you have to relocate to either WWE, Ring of Honor, or Impact. And we are going to do... I don't think I've done the best friends before. So you've got Orange Cassidy, Trent, and Chucky T. Where do you put them?
I'll go Orange Cassidy to NXT, Trent to Impact, Chucky T to ROH. I had to get specific about NXT because they're the only ones who could use Orange Cassidy.
Yeah, you put
But
Orange
is
Cassidy on
athleticism-
Raw. It's No Way Jose is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna want Orange Cassidy actually not to go anywhere near the WWE. I don't care if it's NXT or not. Vince will eventually call him up, and it's gonna be a shit show. So Orange Cassidy is going to Impact because God knows, I mean, Impact needs kind of like, I don't think there's like a funny guy necessarily on Impact or a true fan favorite like an Orange Cassidy. So I think that might be good for Impact. I mean, I'm not counting Moose. I mean, in terms of a funny dude.
Yeah, Moose is a heel.
Moose is... Oh, yeah?
He's
Everyone loves him.
well-liked heel, but he's a dick.
Okay. Fair enough. And Trent would not be used well in WWE.
Yes, he wasn't.
Yes, was not
He
used
was-
well.
So we're going to bring Chucky T there because Trent was already there. And poor Trent is going, well, not so poor Trent. He'll excel in ROH. So I'm sorry, Chucky, but someone's got to go to the doghouse. And that's WWE this time around.
Okay.
I can't blame you for your picks.
Yep. I can't do that to Orange Cassidy. I don't trust Vince to not call up Orange Cassidy from NXT.
I also am going to stay in AEW.
Okay.
Lucha Express. Or Jurassic Express. Jurassic Express. Sorry.
Okay.
It was like Lucha Bros, Jurassic.
Lucha Brothers, Lucha House Party. Jurassic, I'm a little confused which way he's going with it. Okay, Jurassic.
I'll make up whatever the fuck I want, man.
Yes. You got to take one from the Lucha House Party, one from the Lucha Bros, and one from Jurassic Express. You have to flip them all around, man.
Put them with each other.
Jurassic Express. Jungle Boy to WWE.
Ouch.
It sucks, but here's what it comes down to.
You don't want to see Luchasaurus back.
Yeah, Luchasaurus already had a run in NXT where he was underutilized, underused, and eventually cut. And I just don't see them doing any better by him now. And Marco Stunt, if he went to WWE, they'd treat him like Hornswoggle. You know? They'd say, well, you're not Irish, so we can't call you a leprechaun, but we could still have you hide under the ring and make funny things with it. So,
right.
Jungle Boy's the only one that I think would have a chance of having a decent run in WWE of any sort. So, Jungle Boy to WWE.
WWE.
And Luchasaurus to Impact. And then Ring of Honor gets Marco Stunt. Now, I do think there's some fun matches to be had in Ring of Honor with Marco Stunt. I don't know if you're familiar with who Cheeseburger is. But look up Cheeseburger and watch some of his matches and tell me you wouldn't love to see him versus Marco Stunt. I wonder if they've...
His name is Cheeseburger?
Yes.
Because he's your cheeseburger. He's your favorite cheeseburger.
Cheeseburger returns as world famous CB ROH highlights. Okay.
However you. Sorry, that's a VeggieTales.
Yeah, I guess they call him world famous Cheeseburger now. But yeah, Cheeseburger versus Marco could be a lot of fun. Now, Cheeseburger is going to stand a head and shoulders above Marco because Cheeseburger is a whole 5'8".
Yeah.
130 pounds, but
he looks old.
28 years old, so he's not super old.
Really? Oh, damn.
You wouldn't think Tommaso Ciampa was only 36.
No, I would thought he was 50 because
Yeah. Dude has more gray in his beard than... Never mind. Bob Barker's balls. Never mind.
So it looks like...
But Bob Barker dyes his balls. Don't ask me how I know that.
Let's see. It looks like Marco Stunt has been in 2 matches with Cheeseburger. One was back in 2019 Feast Championship Wrestling title ladder match. Swoggle was in it. Ha! And then back in 2018, they were in a Ring of Honor #1 contender. Wait, oh no, that was the All In 0 Hour. They were in the Over the Budget Battle Royal.
Oh, snap.
That would be like Flip Gordon won, but so yeah.
Bam.
So that's how I would do it. Anyways.
So, yeah, I think you have to do Luchasaurus in Impact, though. I don't see their...
You know Smarks just went first to make you have to copy him.
Yeah, so no, then you know what? You're bringing back Luchasaurus to WWE, though. You're not bringing him to NXT. WWE, you're making him go to SmackDown, and he's going to be your guy to go against the table. And I think Roman kind of grooming him would be good in that sense, because the guy is pretty... I don't know if you do well, he talks. Luchasaurus talks. He did the whole funny little thing last week on AE Dubs. So yeah, you bring him to go on SmackDown, face Roman, get a thing going. He definitely has to be main card though. None of this mid card bullshit. So that means Jungle Boy is going to Impact because that would be a good time. Obviously, he would technically still be mid card though, hitting the X division, and that still means you can get to see Jungle Boy versus Kenny Omega down the line again because that match was fire. And Marco Stunt goes to ROH and faces the Cheeseburger because they faced twice already, and why not? That's what I'm picking.
Because you're my cheeseburger.
Hey, cheeseburger. Hey. Okay. So I will also do AEW. And I'm going to do big guys. So we got Wardlow, Hobbs, and Brian Cage. Go.
Wardlow, Hobbs, Brian Cage. Okay, I'll go.
Okay.
WWE takes Wardlow. While I think Hobbs has the longer and better upside, I think and don't get me, I see what you're saying.
No, just make him
Cage.
another Big E.
I can see DA Fabe over there going, why aren't you saying Brian Cage to WWE? I can tell what you're thinking there.
He's thinking about Bob Barker's balls still. You cannot tell.
He's like the gray balls. I just think
He dyes the ball hair now.
Yeah, I think the
yeah.
I think
just yeah. Go on. Sorry, I'll mute myself.
I think Brian Cage is the most WWE look wrestler of them. I think Wardlow has the longer upside, and he's the one that I think WWE would feel like they can mold a little bit more. Like Brian Cage is kind of set in his ways. He's been doing it his way for a while. WWE would be like, yeah, he's not going to change up anything. So that's why I think Wardlow to WWE. Brian Cage will go back. I'm actually going to have Brian Cage go to Ring of Honor and just tear up those little guys in Ring of Honor for a while.
Wow.
And that puts Will Hobbs, Powerhouse Hobbs, into Impact.
That would be fun. That would be fun too. Yeah. Hobbs has never been on Impact?
No, Hobbs was an independent wrestler up until AEW brought him in.
Wow.
So Hobbs, Willie Mack, and Moose in a match. And Moose does exactly to Hobbs what he did to Willie Mack, and then he does it again to Willie Mack. That'd be fun. Because Moose is a machine. Moose
I feel like we say this every week.
He could be knocking on top 10 wrestlers in the world. And because he's the only one in his company,
and his contract is ending on
that,
Impact, which is messed up.
He just resigned.
He did not resign yet, I don't think. He's not resigned yet.
Smarks, get your let me Google that for you.
Yeah, I'll get this figured out here. Really quickly, though, we're going to check in with the Only Six Moves cam. Okay. Yeah, the big boot in the corner. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
You got the sidewalk slam.
Yep.
The kick to the gut and the powerbomb.
And then the taunt.
And then this taunt thing.
Yep.
As reported by Fightful.com, Impact found a way to keep one of their biggest talents in the company despite reports of WWE being interested. Let's see if it says any details of it.
Yeah, but WWE would have ruined it and changed his name to like Bear.
I mean, the reports that I heard, WWE wanted to put him straight to main roster, not send him to NXT.
Right.
But let's see.
Moose denies. No, see, May 24th, 14 hours ago, Moose resigns with Impact.
Yes, Moose.
May 24th,
Okay.
14 hours ago.
July 6th. Okay, yeah. In the last few days, Impact Wrestling took a big step in securing one of their biggest pieces to their company for 2 more years when Moose resigned through 2023. Impact found a way to keep blah, blah, blah. It's not surprising if WWE is interested, but who cares? There were even reports that WWE was going to have him appear on the main roster rather than spend time in NXT. And no word on the money, but I imagine
Fightful reports the new contract is for 2 years, which will carry Moose through the summer of 2023.
motherfucker, I
It's
just
been
said
a
that.
significant improvement over his last deal, though we don't have details about the exact financial terms. But
Lame.
it's a good payday.
What kind of journalists are you, Fightful? Get it going or get gone.
So you're telling me he's the next step of evolution. He's paid, laid, and made.
Pretty much. In
Perfect.
that specific order.
Yes.
I don't know how often he's laid. I'm not gonna choose which order he's in.
Yeah. I'm not going to Google that either.
Yeah. Which
How
order?
often is Moose laid? I have a feeling if I Googled that exact
He's
phrase,
married.
I would get some.
Some very
really-
unique videos.
Yes. Like, oh.
Well, he's married,
Oh.
so he probably does get laid well, maybe not. He's married.
Yeah, it
What?
depends
Yeah.
on how long he's been married.
Yeah. that comes from someone who hasn't been married.
What do you know? You wait.
Simon Dean says that it's fashionable to be married. I don't know. Anyway, so I'm answering Powerhouse Hobbs, Brian Cage, and Wardlow, right?
Correct.
Oh, he actually divorced his wife in 2009.
Oh, so maybe he is getting laid now.
Yep. Very possible.
Well, the way he's getting paid, he probably is. That's a lie. Women don't just pursue money.
No.
They just run away from guys like me.
Aw.
Ooh. Yeah, we don't need to have the emotional therapy session right now.
No,
I'll
it
cry
just
myself to sleep later.
Aw.
Anyway, moving forward. I'm gonna
Go
take
with your pick sorting?
Hobbs. I'm gonna take Hobbs to WWE.
It'll just be a Big E.
I think
Doppelganger.
I think WWE could use Hobbs to replace T-Bar in that tag team, and then they could renew the Hurt Business. I think the Hurt Business could have been more than 4 people too, though. I think they could have gone up to 6 or 7 people.
Yeah, I think the Hurt Business has actually suffered since they kicked
Shelton Benjamin.
and Cedric out. Not that they were the best fits for it, but
No, but it worked.
Like-
the chemistry worked.
you look at
Yeah.
it now and you're just like, business is not so good for the Hurt.
It's these two this tag team over here that doesn't really make sense, and
And how do you be
the original two.
stable with only 2 people?
yeah.
You can't.
Well,
You're a
they
tag
kind
team.
of have lost retribution, but not really, but kind of.
Oh, it's true.
It's
yeah,
weird.
what happened with that?
They stopped. It's weird. It's dumb. They really fucked up when they got rid of the Hurt Business. They should have left it together.
And you
I think
could have had
Powerhouse Hobbs could have
Dominic
been added.
dress in a suit. Could have had Dominic dress in a suit. Finally, Dominic come into another role. God damn it.
Dijak. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, not Mysterio.
Yeah. Well, I was like, what the fuck are you doing? Don't put Dominic Mysterio in this group.
Yeah, seriously. It's a horrible idea.
Anyway, so moving forward, I bring Hobbs over and I start rebuilding the Hurt business and
Nice.
yeah, Dominic can still be in it. There can be a lot of dudes in it. Like it doesn't just have to be Black. I just feel like he'd be a really great supporting character in that group. Whereas I think Brian Cage kind of has to be a loner.
Yeah.
And I think Wardlow could go and play that same role though. Him and Dominic together, that would work.
That would
But-
work as a 6 tag team.
Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun. Like Twin Towers.
Twin Towers
Weird.
of Power.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna take Brian Cage back to Impact.
He was champion there, no?
Yes.
Yeah. I hate to beat a dead horse, but the realism, different kind of horse. Anyway, a different Moose now than was then, and quite frankly, I find it difficult still to this day to truly suspend my disbelief on somebody on that Impact roster beating Moose. I've seen the dude do a Spanish fly. I've seen him do a great spear. I've seen his power. I've seen his athleticism. I've seen his speed.
Well, Kenny Omega beat him.
He's not on the Impact roster,
That's fair.
and he cheated.
And he did cheat. That's true.
Like William Shatner cheated. Captain Kirk cheated.
Like Arnold Schwarzenegger cheated on his wife with a nanny ages ago.
I wasn't gonna go there.
Yep, I
I
went
wasn't
there.
gonna go there. Yeah, that's.
I'm gonna-
okay.
I'm gonna buff
enough.
you up.
I feel like Wardlow does need some refinishing, and I think he could do it in a program where he's just beating up on a bunch of little guys. And I don't know why I have to justify this. That's how I'm putting those three together. That's it.
Well, one more time, checking in with the 6 moves cam. Okay. So on that note, I think we're going to start to wrap things up for this episode. I went a little off the rails there for a bit, but if you joined us for the live stream, thank
You're
you for
being
joining
nice.
us. If you're watching us or listening to us later, join us for the live stream sometimes. It's a ton of fun, and you come here and you can answer in the comments what you think you would do, or you get to see the guest cam whenever I launch it. Because I've got some other guests lined up behind me, so we will see them there. But you can always, of course, find all the links for the ways to watch us, the ways to interact with us in the doobly-doo for this episode and all the episodes, just right down there below the video or in the description for the podcast episode. There's going to be also links to our Patreon page, our merch store, all of that stuff, so you can get yourself your own Links in the Doobly-Doo shirt or your own Raw and Order WBU merch. Support us that way.
Yeah.
Or please sponsor us, Turks and Caicos hat.
Yes. Please sponsor Turks and Caicos.
One trip.
One
One
just
trip.
One. Yeah, just one trip.
One trip.
One job,
That's
one
all
trip.
we need for sponsorship. Yep, that's it.
We'll
but
do
you
a
can
live
check that
show
out.
every
Of
single
course-
day.
Yeah, while we're there, we'll live stream the entire trip.
they
There
have
will be
Wi-Fi
some
in
parts of it
Texas?
that we will not live stream.
Yeah.
There are a few parts that we won't live stream.
Unless I
Sponsor
decide to make
our
prank
room.
videos.
I should have ate more fiber. That won't be on the live stream.
That won't be
But-
on the live stream.
It'll be on the special Patreon exclusive.
Watch smart shit.
No one wants to see that.
So, for those of you who listen to this podcast that are lactose intolerant, I am sorry for the amount of cheese we've had this episode, because it was certainly a good chunk, and we've all made you sick to death. Thought it'd be funnier, and you guys would laugh, but you guys suck.
Oh, you look constipated too, feller.
Yeah, he's eating a lot of cheese. I wonder if those torn quads make it hard for him to poop. Hurt so bad. Oh. But
He can't even use a squatty potty because of that.
no, he sure can't. Can't get that unicorn poop out. So
Please sponsor us, squatty potty.
please sponsor a squatty potty. I'll take it. But you can find all the links in the doobly doos to all of that stuff. You can always follow us on social media. You can follow me at Raw and Order WBU right there. That's going to be on pretty much any of the socials, TikTok, Twitter, whatever, all right there. You can sponsor DA Fave.
Ah, it moved on me. DA Vincent K. Fabe, right there.
And you can, of course, follow JLB at
JLB 420. Damn it, 420 at
Yeah,
Real
but yours
Talk
says
Radio 8.
real thing. There it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, though I
You
meant
have
to say
both of them.
420. I have both of
two.
them. I'm creative like that. Anchor.fm/RTR. Big Brother's coming up. You know, Big Brother's starting up again. The
Just fucking
US
mute him.
version.
Just fucking mute him. Just fucking turn him off.
And for those of you who don't want to hear me turned off, you can listen to my Big Brother podcast when it starts. I'm going to be having our two Big Brother fanatics there. And anchor.fm/RTR. Did you mute me? Okay, you didn't mute me. Anchor.fm/RTR. And that's it. That's it. Back to you, asshats.
I want to know it, please, at somebody other than me because I won't read it. But at one of us, the if you do want to see, this was better before I forgot what the fuck I was going to say. At one of us, if you do want to see JLB turned on, because yeah,
yeah.
you said if you don't want to see me turned off.
Oh,
And I'm
Yeah.
99% sure none of our listeners want to see you turned on either.
they want to turn me on all the time because this voice is sexy. So is this face, but this voice is also sexy.
That's sexy.
That is big sexy.
Sexy.
Right there.
Yeah, straight up.
Oh, what a horrible podcast ending we've had.
But on that note, we are going to wrap things up for the Fantasy Booking Institute. Hope you join us again next time. Thanks for listening. We will see you soon.
Ciao.